Now we're opening your eyes to decision fatigue.
Yeah, sometimes holiday joy gets taken away by the never-ending to-do list. What to wear, what to buy, what to give as a gift. Every small choice chips away at your focus and leads to what we call decision fatigue.
Fatigue, yeah. Psychotherapist turned peak performance coach Hina Khan is joining us this morning to help us get through the holidays. Welcome back to New York Living.
Thank you. I'm so thrilled to be here.
It's always wonderful. I love that you two have met.
Yeah,
Yes,
kind of.
yes.
And are getting on, they're thick as thieves.
Yes, yes.
Talking about Toronto.
Exactly. So can we lay down the foundation? What exactly is decision fatigue?
Well, it's like you said, Marisol, it's when these decisions compound and you've got to make so many decisions that even small, insignificant decisions start to feel heavy because it's another decision that you have to make. Because you're still drawing, whether it's a small decision or a big decision, you're still drawing from that same mental energy bucket. And then things that feel insignificant start to feel heavy, so you overthink it. Or you procrastinate because you just don't even want to make the decision. Or maybe you default to a choice that might not be the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I just know that, like, in fact, I was just telling my manager who's here, last year for presents, I didn't have time to go shopping. So I just basically exchanged money to my siblings and my family. Like, here's $100, here's $100. So yeah, it does get overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about the psychology behind decision making? Because I would say, like, I was at dinner with my husband and my brain was so crowded, I didn't even know what to order. I was like, can you just order for me?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's because you're drawing from that same mental bucket. So even things that you feel should be easy feel really hard, and then we start to go into judgment. Like, why is this hard? Why can't I just figure out what to order? And this really happens with a lot of high performers that feel that they should be making decisions a lot faster and easier, but it's the compound effect. And I think once you understand that, you also want to have a way to deal with decisions. And that can make a big difference. And it's also different for women too, especially this time of year.
How so? Gee, thanks.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We carry the invisible load. I'm generalizing here, but there's a lot of remembering to do, a lot of scheduling, a lot of coordinating, like you've got to go here, we've got to go there. And so you've got this invisible load. And then add on to that the pressure of, I want it to be the perfect holidays. I want us to create the perfect memories and control, like I've got to do it myself. Then that's going to lead to burnout and exhaustion. And it steals the joy from the holidays. Like, it's not fun.
Yeah, no, I think there seems to be a high expectation of what this season is all about. And sometimes I think you feel FOMO, you know, like, oh God, am I supposed to be at this party? Am I supposed to have my own party and the decorations and all that stuff? So I get it.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure we put on ourselves.
You have 3 steps to help all of us work through all this decision fatigue. Please.
The first one is to deal with it. So one of the things that I find that we do is, let's say you were invited by your guest co-host to an event and you knew that you could not go. But sometimes we don't want to say no in that moment. We don't graciously decline, and we're like, you know what, I'll tell them later. Because we just don't want to do it. So then you go to bed with all of these things that you said you would put off and you would do later, and you're waking up in the morning with this list, and it's like an energetic leak. So if you deal with things as they come up, I call it event action. The event happens, take the action right away and deal with it. So that's the first thing. And then the second piece is to delegate. Now, if you're somebody that likes to be in control, this means that you've also got to change the story in your head that you're the only one that can do it. So perhaps next time, instead of having to hand out the cash to all the siblings, although I think they appreciated it, you could delegate or get some support in getting those gifts. Right? And also, people want to help. Like, enlist people, let them help. And then the third is to ditch it. So maybe there's some traditions. I was talking about this on a call this morning with a client, where there's some traditions that perhaps you've outgrown. Like, you've been doing them for so long that you feel like you still have to do them. So maybe you do a little holiday audit and decide what you're going to ditch, and let go of the perfectionism as well, the perfect table, the perfect gifts, the perfect experience, and replace that with being present.
That's right.
Yeah. I've heard that the number one thing to do is make a decision. Whether it's
Yes.
right or wrong,
Right.
just make a decision.
Just make a
Because I find myself, I double book myself a lot of times.
boy.
So, yeah, so I'm going to take your advice.
No, not in 2026.
Exactly.
We are not doing that
No,
in
I'm not doing
2026.
it. Damn it. Darn it. Darn it. This is a family
This
show.
is live.
Hina, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
joining
so
you.
much. This was an easy decision, by the way.
Yes.
For me.
For us
coming
too.
here.
Yeah.
For us,
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Always
Thank
a
you
welcome.
so
Happy
much.
holidays.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do yourself a favor and follow Hina on Instagram at Coach with Hina, Hina.